Hello! Thank you so much for clicking on this video. It makes me very happy that you did, even if you did it on accident. I don't even know how this video found you, but I'm so happy you clicked on it. So, in this video, it's just going to be me inking a drawing inspired by my favorite movie and book of all time, Howl's Moving Castle. It was kind of like a moment in time where I had no idea what to draw, but all I knew is that I wanted to use ink. So I was like, you know what? I may not be a fan art girly, but I'm gonna be a fan art girly today because I really want an excuse to draw something with a lot of lines. And House Moving Castle felt right. So thank you so much for clicking on the video. If you're a House Moving Castle fan, yay. I hope I don't ruin your vision of it. Actually, you know what? If you're a House Moving Castle fan, I got nervous all of a sudden. But if you're not, I totally suggest watching Howl's Moving Castle or reading the novel or book. Or maybe novel's too fancy of a word. I don't know. Reading the book, it's fantastic. They are similar, but I would say it's like a completely different experience reading it versus watching it. And nonetheless, you should definitely do it because it is so good. So here I am using ink. And I'm kind of embarrassed now because, I can see this from a different perspective, and truthfully, I really think the face came out botched. A friend also pointed it out, and that kind of made me so sad because, it's my fault. I should have used reference, I know, but I didn't. So here's the face. It looks botched. I'm sorry. I could always fix that in post, like on Photoshop or something, but I'm lazy, and honestly, the whole experience for me making art is the making of the art. I find it so enjoyable to just sit there and ink and zone out. So I guess I don't really care that much about the final result. I know that's not how you're supposed to feel, but the process is so special. And then the result is something that I basically lose somewhere in my apartment. So, if anyone really, really asks me to fix it, I will. I also should probably color it, but yeah. Anyhow, I hope I'm not talking too much, so I'm gonna pause for a second with my talking, and I hope you grab a warm drink and, draw along with me. I hope or work along with me, I guess. But I hope you enjoy the video, and hopefully I choose some nice music to play now so that you have something to listen to, and I'll hop back in a few seconds. The inking process is my favorite thing in the world. I feel so relaxed. I feel like I'm in a trance when I try to do ink. And doing hair, drawing hair, is one of my favorite things in the world. It's just so relaxing. So here I am just drawing the hair. I'm using a quadruple zero paintbrush, I think, or, oh, it looks like it's a double zero. I don't even know. I have so many of these little paintbrushes, and I really wish I could say that I hold on to them for years, but I don't know how. I ruined them like after 3 different uses, it feels like, and then I need a new one. So probably my poor cleaning skills when it comes to cleaning off the brushes. I don't know, but I love using these little brushes, and I'm using the Dr. P.H. Martin's Black India ink, and that is my favorite. So I didn't really have a full plan about how this picture was going to look. I just knew that I wanted to draw a lot of little lines, and I had a rough sketch. Clearly, like I mentioned, the face is not well planned. I'm gonna just pretend that didn't happen. But inking it was so much fun. Coming up with how the lines were gonna look and deciding was just so relaxing. And oh, the little pink flower that you can see in the corner that I keep dipping my brush into, that was originally supposed to be, well, I went to like a ceramics class that was like a 1-out ceramics class where you just get to use the wheel twice and then you get to do hand building. I'm obsessed with hand building. It is the most fun activity ever. But the wheel kind of like, I don't know, I felt like I didn't have enough creativity with the wheel and I was just stuck there, and it was like rigorous and you have to do it a certain way, and that's just not how my brain thinks. So that was supposed to be a cup, and it got smashed and I turned it into a flower. And I think it is the best thing I ever made for inking, because I can now use it to put a little bit of ink in it, let it dry out, not worry about cleaning it, and then reuse it every time. And those little ridges of the flower petals hold my paintbrush perfectly. So it was a happy accident and I totally love it. I think it is one of the best tools I've ever had, even though it was an accident. So yeah. Now that I'm talking over this video while, I guess in post, editing and whatnot, I can't help but think about how amazing Housewarming Castle is. It's just the world building, and I'm talking about the movie specifically because I feel like there's not a Ghibli movie, Ghibli, whatever. I feel like there's not a Miyazaki movie out there that I don't like, but this one is just top tier, and I don't know if it's because it's the first Ghibli movie I ever watched. I distinctly remember the moment I fell in love with this movie so detailed. I feel like it was like my 7th birthday party or something like that, and we went to the movie theater and my friends came and we were supposed to watch the movie Zathura, which was like the remake almost of Jumanji. And when we got to the movie theater, and I remember specifically I was wearing these green star-shaped earrings that were like hanging earrings, and I felt so big girl when I put them on. I was like, yes, I'm that girl. But anyway, we got to the theater and we were about to watch Zathura, and I saw in the ticket area where they had what shows were showing on each screen, they were showing that Housewarming Castle was one of the movie theaters, playing one of the movies. And I got so hyped by the art style because I had never really seen a movie like that before. And I guess I wasn't really exposed to anime other than maybe Digimon and Pokemon. Why couldn't I remember that word? Until now, and I'm not comparing the two because they're nothing alike, but I hadn't seen like an animated 2D film that was so beautiful ever until this point, I think. So I remember seeing the poster and being like, oh my god, that's the movie I want to see, and turning to all my friends and being like, hey, why don't we go see this movie instead? And they were like, a cartoon on your birthday? Aren't you supposed to be getting older? And I was just like, okay, never mind. So then a few weeks later, I remember showing up at the DVD rental place, and oh my god, that ages me so much, doesn't it? But I went to the movie rental place, and I saw the movie and I begged my mom to let me rent it, and she did. And so we rented it, I watched it, and it was like the best movie experience of my life. I feel like I watched it like 3 times before having to return it the next day. So, not to be obsessive and crazy, but it was so good, and it changed my life forever. And that was before I even knew that, like, it was a whole studio, before I knew that there were more movies like that, before I realized that I could watch more. Um, and honestly, it was a long time before I watched my next Ghibli film, because I grew up in a Greek-speaking country, and I do speak Greek, it is my first language, but I don't like watching movies in Greek very much. So when I first rented Spirited Away to watch it, thinking, hey, this looks kind of similar, it was only in Greek dub, and I despised it. So I don't think I ever watched it. I think I watched the first few minutes, I was like, I cannot do this. And then I think I was on a vacation visiting my grandparents in the United States, and it was randomly on television again, and it was in Spanish, so I watched it in Spanish, so which I don't speak Spanish, so okay, I'm talking way too much, I'm sorry. But the point is, Howl's Moving Castle is fantastic, and you should watch it, give it a go. It's so whimsical and magical, and everything about it is truly beautiful. And every time you watch it, you pick something else up that you didn't pick up the first time. I think it is a masterpiece beyond recognition. So I hope this ugly-faced artwork kind of, you know, gives it some sort of, it's like a good homage and not just like an ugly picture. I don't know. I shouldn't be calling my artwork ugly, but yeah, I don't know. Self-confidence, right? Am I right? Okay. At this point in the process, I felt like it really needed more black in it, like just a big chunk of black. Oh, hi Dita, that's my cat. Yeah, every time I draw, she climbs. I have 3 cats, but she's the worst when it comes to climbing on the desk. She wants to be on top of everything. So anyhow, back to the picture. At this point I felt like it really needed some black in it, but I didn't really feel confident in going in there with black. And then I was like, even though this will not show up when I scan it and it doesn't matter, let me just paint the border black to see if the black is what I want. And then I got carried away and I had fun painting the border black because I was like, wow, I never used ink this thick blobs like this. So I painted the whole border, and I don't know why I recorded this because clearly there was no point to it, but I did. And oh look, you can peep the little sketch on the side. I said that and then I covered it immediately with there it is. You can see the sketch that I was originally doodling before I decided to actually make this a real drawing. Yeah, I had a lot of fun drawing this, and I really appreciate anybody who stuck around and actually watched this video to the end. If you did, please leave a comment and you know, tell me what you think about Howl's Moving Castle. And if you haven't watched Howl's Moving Castle, watch it and come back because it's just such a good movie. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm sorry if I talk too much. It's a bad habit that I have, or is it I don't know, it's a habit that I have. I'm not gonna say bad inherently, but I do talk too much. But here it is. Here's me erasing all the sketch marks, and I cannot help but notice how whacked up the face is now, but I still really enjoyed it. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.